What has been for centuries the integral source of health for people and communities? What is still the first port of call for millions of people worldwide for their health and well-being? Its traditional, ancestral, and indigenous knowledges of health and the world around us, constantly evolving, in balance with self, in harmony with nature. But how can we harness its potential to help us address the health challenges of our busy lives? To turn the promise of health for all into a reality for all. To deliver people-centered health services that are respectful of cultures and traditions. By sharing our knowledge and experiences of traditional practices, we can understand, acknowledge, and advance its role in building a fairer, safer, and healthier future.
Welcome to Charter4Health, a PHM podcast series on the right to health. Hear the voices and insights of health rights defenders at the forefront of the struggle for health for all from around the world. I am your host, Miguel Garcia, and this is Charter4Health, a podcast series from PHM Global. Follow and share from wherever you are on iVoox or go to our website, phmovement.org. We are the People's Health Movement. Join us in the struggle for health for all. In this episode of Charter4Health, we approach the issue of traditional medicine and ancestral knowledges. Our guest today is a woman of the Quechua indigenous people, a physician, promoter of ancestral medicine, health activist, member of the People's Health Movement. She currently serves as a National Director of Traditional Medicine in the Ministry of Health of the Plurinational Government of Bolivia. Welcome, Vivian Camacho. It's a pleasure to have you here. Before we start, we would love it if you greet us in your mother language.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Thank you, my comrades. My comrade from South Africa and Colombia. So wonderful to be here with you. First of all, I need to greet you with my mother language. I belong to the Quechua nation of the plurinational state of Bolivia. So for all of you, sumahpunchay kachuntukuy kunapa, hatunapay kuytukuy gangunapa, noga suti Vivian Camacho, hagay Bolivia, kollasuyo manta, hamorgani, hatunapay kuy. That is my mother language, and I meant, my name is Vivian Camacho. I come from the Quechua nation of the plurinational state of Bolivia. May you have a beautiful day. May it be a beautiful day.
One of the most interesting things for me in this Fifth Assembly is the fact that we included the ancestral knowledges and within our program. Why don't we talk about this and talk about introduce and help people understand what is the concept of Buen Vivir, Vivi?
Wonderful. Yesterday we had this beautiful panel, a plenary session about ancestral wisdom in health, and it was amazing to hear our comrades and also to discuss that health is a human right, but which health? A monocultural health? A health that is understood like business, dehumanize it or merchandise it. No, we are going beyond that. Health is a human right, but it has to do with our cultures. So we are talking about interculturality and health. We are talking about the cultural dialogue between ancestral wisdom and modern medicine. It has to do like that, like the bridge of communication, because they are different kind of knowledge, but they complement each other. We complement each other when we are in community. So we need to remember this, that we belong to different beautiful cultures alive in the world. We are millions of humans healing ourselves with our ancestral wisdom alive. And that is why our ancestral medicine is our cultural resistance. So we can survive and we can go on in life. And it has to do with buen vivir, with living well, sumah kausay in Quechua, in our language. But in Aymara, it is as well sumah kamaña, ñandereko in Guarani, lequilcush lejal in Maya. So our indigenous peoples, they have different names for this concept. It's not only the little short translation, vivir bien o buen vivir, living well. It's not like that because people has misunderstood this. Some people think that it is about living good inside capitalism with consumism. I can live good when I consume most. I can live good when I have more money. It's not about that. It's lost in translation meaning. Buen vivir, living well, has to do with the life, with gratitude, with joy, with generosity, with love for all living entities. So for plants, for animals, for our sacred places, for the rivers, the mountains, ourselves that we belong to Mother Earth, to Father Sun, Mother Moon. We are their children, so they accompany us in our way. So we remember that we belong to the cosmos, that we belong all together, no matter what color our skin, our language, or whatever. We are all brothers and sisters and children of life. So Buen Vivir is calling for dignity, for social justice, for sharing not only knowledge but also our resources with solidarity. So none of us would have a hunger or thirst or die of starvation, because Mother Earth is generous for everyone, but not for the greedy, as Mahatma Gandhi said before.
Let's take a short break. We're talking to Vivian Camacho about ancestral knowledge and traditional medicine. Stay with us.
We
are the People's Health Movement.
PHM brings together health rights activists and organizations from around the world.
For over 2 decades, PHM health defenders have been at the forefront of the struggle for health for all.
We maintain an independent voice without fear or favor.
But now we need you to stand with us.
We need your support to continue our critical and independent intervention on all health matters.
To contribute to our cause, go to our website, phmovement.org, and find out how.
Contribute
and say
proudly that you support
health
for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Follow the discussions on health issues at the World Health Organization on the WHO Tracker website. Through the WHO Tracker, PHM closely follows the work of the World Health Organization and prepares commentaries on agenda items at the WHO governing body meetings. These include background and critical health perspective analysis with recommendations for policymakers and civil society. Visit the WHO Tracker on the People's Health Movement website at phmovement.org. Join us in the struggle for health for all.
One thing that it's really interesting to me is that for the first time, I think in the whole world scenario, we're starting to talk about the indigenous people's knowledges and the health, the way our ancestrals see it in the world. But the Ayurveda in India, the Chinese have been talking about a lot about this. And the World Health Organization had its first Ancestral Knowledges Assembly, and it opened an office in India. Why don't you talk about this? Because I know that you were there, and I would like to hear about your experience and how these ancestral knowledges, different knowledges, speak to each other, and what's the discussion in the world right now about this?
It is wonderful to mention this. Thank you for this question, Miguel, because last year on August of 2023 was held the first meeting in the world that the World Health Organization, surprisingly to all of us, called with the government of India. So it was a world summit on ancestral medicines in the world. So we were about 140 countries that were together discussing and sharing about the advances that we have and how we are working with traditional ancestral wisdom. And it is amazing because we have some health systems that have already included this. We have, even if you don't have it on your health system, we have different offices working on it in our region. But what I have seen is that in the Global South, we are more advanced. I mean, we have reached more contacts of interculturality and respect to ancestral wisdom than in the North, in the global North. And it has to do with colonization. It has to do with also the genocide that has taken in those places as well as with us. But we are millions in the global South more than in the North. But in the North, they also exist, of course. That's why different offices were presented, beautiful advances, and we need to acknowledge that India has its own ancestral medicine ministry, Ayurveda, Ayush ministry. And China has as well its own traditional ancestral medicine of China, Chinese medicine, recognized in part of the systems and universities and hospitals and primary healthcare centers and attentions and industry of natural medicine developed so people can have it. So it is amazing. Even they were having discussions in Asia how to exchange natural medicine. And it goes beyond corporations. It is from the governments, from people, the governments that represent people and that are thinking about the people and not only the profit. And I want to underline this, because we know that many practices like yoga, tai chi, or acupuncture or homeopathy, especially yoga, tai chi, or and another ancestral medicines from the East, from Asia, have become a commodity and have become something for rich people, elitics, in this another side of the world. So that is the perversion of capitalism. That's why we denounce this, because our ancestral wisdom, the wisdom we have, is for taking care of our people, not for the business, not for the merchandise, because they are doing the same with our cultures. So you have shamanic Andean sessions in Europe or wherever they charge a lot of money. So they are merchandising our wisdom. That's why we need to take it back and defend this ancestral medicine as a resistance, a tool of resistance for our people, but also our right and our identity. That's why what we are is not for the business, is for taking care of life.
Okay, thank you so much, Vivi.
Thank you.
We are the People's Health Movement, bringing together health rights activists from around the world. Join us in the struggle for health for all. This episode of Charter4Health was produced by Annelinde Coquelar, Ana Brachar, and David Verstock. Editing by Luisa Fernanda Viatela. Technical support by James Von Duren, Edwin Otzin, Gabriela Tumash, and Esmeralda Ramos. Special thanks to the World Health Organization Video Archive and the Misak Nation in Colombia for their music. My name is Miguel Garcia, and this is Charter4Health, a PHM podcast. You can find much more about PHM and its call to action by logging into our website, phmovement.org. This is a People's Health Movement production.
We
are
the People's
Health Movement.
PHM brings together health rights activists and organizations from around the world.
For over 2 decades, PHM health defenders have been at the forefront of the struggle for health for all.
We maintain an independent voice without fear or favor.
But now we need you to stand with us.
We need your support to continue our critical and independent intervention on all health matters.
To contribute to our cause, go to our website, phmovement.org, and find out how.
Contribute
And say
proudly
that you support
health
for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Health for all.
Follow the discussions on health issues at the World Health Organization on the WHO Tracker website. Through the WHO Tracker, PHM closely follows the work of the World Health Organization and prepares commentaries on agenda items at the WHO governing body meetings. These include background and critical health perspective analysis with recommendations for policymakers and civil society. Visit the WHO Tracker on the People's Health Movement website at phmovement.org. Join us in the struggle for health for all.
Hey everyone, I'm Chiara Bodini, co-editor of the Global Health Watch 6, flagship publication of the People's Health Movement. I am also a producer of the GHW podcast. Listen to the first season of our podcast in English, Spanish, French, and Arabic on iVox. You can also go to our website phmovement.org/GHW-podcast.
Every people brings together rituals that remind us that we are nature. We are water, we are earth, we are air, we are wood, we are fire, that we are part of life, that we are within life. We are a community that is part of the people that suffer because of unfair wars, that suffer because of extractivist capitalism, genocide, ecocide, and other things that create hunger, exclusion to the majorities. But we also want to tell you that we are part of these people that confront injustice, that resist, that sings, that dreams with other worlds that are possible, with a perspective and a look towards buen vivir, towards living well.